Have you ever found yourself lying awake at 2 a.m., eyes wide open, heart racing? Not because of danger, but because of a memory from 3 weeks ago? You replay that conversation over and over again in your mind, rewriting the words you should have said, imagining 17 different outcomes that might have changed everything. Or maybe you're staring at your phone screen, typing a message, deleting it, retyping it again, worried that one wrong word might be misunderstood. Sounds familiar? You're not alone. But here's the truth. No one really tells you. This isn't. Deep self-reflection. It's not clarity, it's avoidance. It's the illusion of control while you're actually losing it. You're not analyzing your life, you're putting it on pause. Every single minute you spend lost in a spiral of thoughts is a minute you're not truly living. Think about that. Life is passing you by while you're stuck inside your head. And the cruel twist? The more time you spend thinking about your problems, the bigger and heavier they become. Thoughts multiply. Worry breeds worry. And before you know it, you're drowning in what-ifs and regrets. This isn't another just think positive pep talk. This is about something far deeper and far more powerful. Because today I want to show you exactly how overthinking is quietly stealing your life from beneath your feet. And more importantly, I'm going to share with you a single strategy that can break this cycle for good. But first, let me walk you through what overthinking actually looks like. You wake up, sunlight barely peeking through the blinds. Before your feet even touch the floor, your brain is already sprinting. What if the meeting later goes badly? What if your presentation flops? What if you say something awkward and people laugh? You're still in pajamas and already mentally exhausted. Then you get to work. Instead of focusing on your tasks, you're mentally rehearsing conversations that may never even happen. You're pre-solving problems that don't yet exist. You're preparing for outcomes that only live in your imagination. And while you're busy inside your head, guess what? Real life is moving on without you. Opportunities come and go, unnoticed, because you're too busy calculating the risks. You're not engaging with the present. You're not seeing the chance in front of you because you're too caught up predicting failure. Worse yet, your relationships suffer. You're more emotionally invested in your thoughts about a person than the actual human sitting across from you. You're reacting to your imagination, not reality. Many people think overthinking is a sign of intelligence or responsibility. They believe it means they're being thorough. But here's what overthinking really is. It's a mental loop. Like a scratched record stuck playing the same line over and over, you're not fixing anything. You're not preparing yourself better. You're stuck. I call it analysis paralysis. It's when thinking replaces doing, when worry replaces action, when mental chaos replaces peace. Here's the part that might shock you. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. Let that sink in. When you intensely relive an awkward or painful memory from high school, your body reacts as if it's happening right now. Your nervous system flares up, your heart pounds, your muscles tense. When you visualize tomorrow's worst-case scenario, your body releases stress hormones, as if you're already failing in real time. You're exhausted not because your life is hard, but because you're living every painful possibility before it even exists. That's the cost of overthinking. You don't just live once. You live every scenario, every failure, every rejection, every awkward moment over and over in your head. No wonder you're tired. You've already lived through 100 different lives, and none of them even happened. So let's continue where we left off. We talked about how overthinking steals your peace in the present. But here's what makes it even more dangerous. Overthinking doesn't just hijack your now, it quietly programs your next. Let that sink in. When your brain constantly rehearses worst-case scenarios, rejection, failure, embarrassment, you're not just venting stress, you're training your mind. You're teaching your subconscious to expect chaos, to assume something will go wrong. So even when things finally go right, You feel out of place, uncomfortable, maybe even guilty. Success feels like a foreign country where you don't speak the language. Ever met someone who always seems to attract drama or stumble into chaos, no matter how well things are going? It's not fate, it's not bad luck, it's habit. Mental habit. They've become so used to living in imaginary disasters that peace feels unfamiliar, even unsafe. And that's the trap. Your thoughts aren't just background noise. They're the blueprint your subconscious uses to shape your experience of life. Let me give you a real-life example. Meet Sarah, smart, capable, the kind of person people admire on paper. Valedictorian, full ride to university. Landed a dream job by 25. From the outside, her life looked perfect. But on the inside, Sarah was unraveling. She couldn't make a decision without weeks of mental gymnastics. Every interaction replayed in her head on a loop. Every minor misstep magnified into a personal catastrophe. Her brain never turned off. While others moved forward, Sarah stayed stuck in mental quicksand. The cost? Her relationships grew distant. Her joy vanished. Every milestone immediately turned into anxiety about the next. She wasn't living her life. She was thinking about living it. And Sarah's not alone. She's just one of millions of people silently drifting through life in a fog. Physically present, but emotionally absent. On the surface, everything looks okay. But inside, they're spinning in circles. After working with people like Sarah, I realized something powerful. Overthinking isn't really a thinking problem. It's a feeling problem. People don't get stuck in thought because they love logic or analysis. They do it because they're afraid. Afraid of uncertainty. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of not being in control. And so they cling to thoughts like a lifeline, trying to think their way into confidence. But here's the hard truth. You can't think your way into peace. You can't analyze your way into joy. You can't prepare your way into a life worth living, because the more you try to control life through overthinking, the more out of control you feel. So how do we break this cycle? Let me introduce you to something that works, the 3-second reset. It's so simple, it almost sounds silly, but that's exactly why it works. Second 1. Notice. Catch yourself in the act. The moment you realize your thoughts are spiraling, don't panic. Just notice. Gently say to yourself, "Oh, there it is. I'm doing that thing again." Second 2. Breathe. Not a deep meditation, not a long ritual, just one mindful breath, one slow inhale and exhale to bring you back into your body. To remind you that you're still here, still safe. Second 3. Choose. Ask yourself this one powerful question. What would I do right now if I trusted myself completely? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. That's it. 3 seconds. Notice. Breathe. Choose. This isn't magic. It's mindfulness in motion. Because overthinking lives in the past or the future, but your power lives in the present. Let's pick up from where we left off. You've just learned about the 3-second reset. A tool so simple, yet so powerful, it can pull you out of the e.g. spiral and place you exactly where your power lives. Right here, right now. But here's the part most people overlook. This technique isn't some magic switch to eliminate all thoughts. You're not trying to silence your brain forever. That's not the point. You're using the 3-second reset to do something far more valuable, interrupt the loop. You see, overthinking isn't just thinking too much. It's reacting automatically to every thought as if it's real, urgent, dangerous. The reset is your pause button. It gives you just enough space to stop playing puppet to your mind, and in that gap, something incredible happens. Your natural intelligence rises, not the over-anxious voice that narrates disaster, not the critic that replays every mistake, but a quieter, deeper wisdom, the one that already knows. It's the voice that says, "You're okay. You've been here before. You'll figure this out." This wisdom doesn't overanalyze. It doesn't need 1,000 confirmations. It acts with quiet confidence. Not because it has all the answers, but because it trusts the process. It trusts you. Now imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, and instead of your brain immediately sprinting into overdrive, listing out worries, deadlines, what-ifs, you just feel calm, present, grounded. As if for the first time in a long time, you're actually living your own life, not watching it from the sidelines. You walk into a room, and you're not scanning every face, decoding every expression, calculating the right thing to say. You just show up, as you, fully. You make decisions quickly, not because you're reckless, but because you've trained yourself to trust that deeper voice. You no longer need to think things to death before making a move. You've replaced hesitation with intuition. Sounds like a fantasy? It's not. It's what life begins to feel like when you stop living in your head and start living in your reality. These people, those who've mastered this shift, they don't seem superhuman. They just seem free. They're not more intelligent. They don't have some secret superpower. They've simply stopped carrying the invisible backpack filled with what-ifs. Should I? What if they think? And I'm not ready. They speak with ease because they're not editing every sentence in their mind. They take action because they're not paralyzed by an endless stream of possibilities. They enjoy the moment because finally, they're in it. But let me be honest. With you, if you've been overthinking for years, your brain won't let this go easily. At first, it will resist. It'll scream, "This is risky." It'll whisper, "What if something goes wrong if you don't over-prepare?" It'll argue, "You can't stop thinking now. What if you miss something?" That's just your mind doing what it's been trained to do. Don't fight it. Don't argue with it. Just notice it. Then do your reset. One moment, one breath, one choice. Start where it's small. Use the reset when you're standing in front of your closet, paralyzed by indecision. Use it when you're drafting that text message and rewriting it for the 10th time. Use it when your mind starts replaying a conversation that's already long gone. These little moments, they're the training ground. They're where you start building the muscle to live now, to trust yourself again. Not someday, not later, now. Remember that tiny shift we talked about? The moment you reset, breathe, and choose, just for a second, you begin rewriting the script in your mind. And here's the unexpected part. Once you stop overthinking the little things, you'll find yourself naturally letting go of the big ones too. Why? Because in that stillness, you rediscover something powerful, that you, yes, the real you, are actually more capable, more intuitive, and far wiser than your anxious thoughts ever gave you credit for. You remember what it's like to trust your instincts, to move forward without needing a 10-step plan. You remember what it feels like to be free from the exhausting loop of doubt and self-questioning. You remember, you were born for more than just surviving in your own head. The goal isn't to eliminate thinking. We're not trying to shut down your mind or pretend problems don't exist. The goal is simple but profound. Think when it's useful. Live when it's time to live. Because overthinking isn't just mental clutter, it's life on pause. And life doesn't wait. Now I could go on and on, diving deep into the neuroscience of overthinking, quoting studies, explaining every cognitive mechanism behind your mental habits. But let's be honest, that would just be feeding your overthinking brain more data to spiral with. More information, more loops. Instead, let's do something real. Right now, take this moment and try the 3-second reset with me. Think of something you've been obsessing over lately. Got it? Okay. Step 1. Notice. Recognize the thought without judgment. Just say to yourself, here it is again. Step 2. Breathe. One deep, slow breath to anchor you back into your body. Step 3. Choose. Ask yourself, What would I do right now if I trusted myself completely? And whatever your gut says in that moment, before the voice of fear shows up, that's your answer. That's your next step. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about reclaiming your ability to act without apology. And if something about this video hit differently for you, if you felt something shift deep inside, then leave a comment below. I choose to trust myself. Don't write it for me. Write it for you. Sometimes declaring our intentions aloud makes them real. It's a promise to your future self. And if there's someone you care about, someone stuck in their own head, spiraling through fear and doubt, share this video with them. Not everyone is ready to hear this message, but for those who are, it might just be the permission they've been quietly waiting for. Let me leave you with one final truth. Your life is not a puzzle to be solved. It's a moment-to-moment experience meant to be felt, embraced, and lived. While you've been replaying regrets, rewriting conversations, calculating outcomes, your real life has been quietly waiting outside your thoughts. And it's time. No more wasting precious days, second-guessing everything. No more shrinking from joy because you overanalyzed it to death. No more hiding behind mental rehearsals while the real stage stands empty. Right now, while you breathe, while you watch, while you feel, this is life, and it's calling you to show up fully. So go. Stop overthinking. Start living. You've got this. You've heard the words. You've felt the shift. Now the question is simple. Will you choose to trust yourself? The life you've been waiting for doesn't begin someday. It begins the moment you decide to step out of your mind and into your life. If this message stirred something inside you, don't let it fade. Drop a comment. I choose to trust myself. It's not just a sentence. It's your first brave step forward. And if this video spoke to your soul, imagine who else needs to hear it. Share it with a friend, a sibling, a teammate, someone stuck in their head, waiting for a sign. You might just be that sign. At Motivation Hub Rise, we don't just post content. We create awakening moments, moments that whisper, you're not alone, moments that remind you, you've got this. So if you're ready to rise above doubt, fear, and the noise of the world, subscribe now to Motivation Hub Rise. Your journey to clarity, courage, and inner peace begins here. And always remember, you were never meant to stay stuck in your head. You were born to rise.